Marshmallow, a spoonful of sugar. There's nothing Marshmallow would love more than to spend time in your kitchen. She'll lean over your shoulder, offering suggestions for adorning your salads and thickening your soups. There's no reason for foul-tasting anything, including medicine, declares the grand dame of dessert. She should know, having been at it since around 2000 BCE. Egypt, dear, she'll tell you, a lovely place. I fed pharaohs and gods. But Marshmallow's not one to dwell in the past. She takes too much joy in bringing ease to the present. And there's much work to do. Digestion these days. She tisks as she sets about creating her latest confection. Call on Marshmallow when you need to soften and rediscover sweetness. Ritual. Conscious cookery. Any act can be ritual if done with intention. Marshmallow remembers the days when baking and medicine making weren't far removed from each other. In honor of her long history in the kitchen, create a dish that's deliciously nourishing. As you chop and blend, focus on how this food will nurture those who eat it. Allow yourself to picture the vibrancy that will come with each delectable bite. Creating confections. There's a reason marshmallow confections were the province of pharaohs in ancient times. They were time-consuming and difficult to make. Unlike modern marshmallow revival recipes, which call for only a small amount of marshmallow's root added as a nod to the traditional use of the plant, the oldest recipes call for the sap of the fresh plant, which then underwent a multi-day process for being eaten. Reflection. Soften and soothe. Marshmallow's magic is to soften and soothe. When the edges of life are too much, when you feel raw and scraped, picture marshmallow growing in the moist soil of the wetland, water eddying gently, softening hard earth and loosening what's been stuck. What can marshmallow help you soften? What rough edges are rubbing at your spirit? Marshmallow is not scared of processes. She knows sometimes there are many steps to a recipe and that the best flavors are created in layers, step by slow step. Monarch Butterfly, digest your past. Before Butterfly can earn her wings, she turns inward, examining all that she has been, digesting the pieces of her own past. This is quiet work, womb work. So she shuts herself away from the world to begin the deconstruction. As she performs the rites of unmaking, she sacrifices every bit of self on the altar of transformation. Finally, her body reduced to a soup of cells, Butterfly checks her blueprint, pulling proteins into wings, preparing finally for flight. If Monarch Butterfly appears in your life, it's time to begin shedding, digesting your past, and doing the work that prepares you for flight. Ritual. Write your personal manifesto. Butterfly goes into her chrysalis with only the barest idea of who she will become when she emerges. This idea is called an imaginal disc, a group of cells holding the pattern of the parts she will need to create in order to take flight. You too have metaphoric imaginal discs, patterns embedded deep in your psyche that help you know who you are. You can follow these patterns to rebuild yourself during transitions. Let's pull these patterns to the surface so you can see them and begin to understand the essence of your own being. Set a timer for 10 minutes and use the time to write a personal manifesto. Start with the phrase, I am, or I honor, or This is what is most important to me. When you're done writing, underline 3 to 5 of the most important sentences, crafting them into a personal manifesto that you can refer to when you feel like cellular soup with no clue how to reemerge. Chrysalis or cocoon. When moth larvae are ready to grow wings, they spin a silk shell called a cocoon. When a butterfly larvae, a caterpillar, is ready to transform and take flight, it first becomes a chrysalis, a hard-hanging teardrop of self. The chrysalis is the butterfly. Reflection. Preparing for change. It isn't news that butterfly begins life as a caterpillar, but how does this most land-bound of creatures grow wings and take flight? She digests herself literally. When caterpillar is ready to transform, she begins munching leaves at an alarming rate, stoking her energy and creative fires in a pre-transition feeding frenzy. When she is sated, butterfly creates a hard exoskeleton to protect herself as she begins the messy work of transformation. Once inside her chrysalis, butterfly begins eating herself, digesting and assimilating every bit of her being until she becomes cellular soup. This soup contains the building blocks of her future form. After butterfly has dissolved her past, she begins the process of becoming, creating wings to gift herself with flight. This process is a metaphoric map for stepping consciously into changes in your own life. Nourish your body and spirit. Release what no longer serves. Take time and space alone. Grow new wings. Think back to your largest life transition, perhaps having a child, moving into a new house, or going through a divorce, and see how you worked through all the stages of transformation. How can you traverse your next change with grace? Mugwort, between dreams. Mugwort lives in the space between deep rest and waking. She's the daughter of moonlight and protector of those who travel the dream time. Mugwort curls around your mind, whispering your dreams into words and images that you can clutch as you climb levels of consciousness and return to your waking self. While Mugwort's constant vigil makes her a bit waspish and bitter, she knows the many-layered worlds and can guide you through the serpentine paths of the collective unconscious. Call on her to guide you through dreams or journey work. If Mugwort appears to you, she's calling you to dip into these subtler realms. Ritual. Remembering dreams. Before sleep, sit on the edge of your bed. Plant your feet on the ground, anchoring into the earth. Stretch tall and imagine starlight reaching for your crown. Set the intention to remember your dreams and call on Mugwort to assist you. If you're able, slip a fresh sprig of some dried mugwort in a pouch or wrapped cloth or a tissue into your pillowcase. Put a journal by your bed, open to a fresh page. If you wake in the night, jot down anything you remember without turning on a light. Your handwriting will be messy, but you'll lose the dream more quickly if you leave the darkness. In the morning, before you're fully awake, lie in bed with your eyes closed and pull your dreams into your conscious mind. Reach for your journal and write them down in the present tense, as though they are currently happening. It may take a few days of having the journal by the bed to encourage your subconscious to carry your dreams to the surface. Be patient with yourself. Reflection. Differentiating. Dreamscapes. Dreams have different textures, which indicate to the initiated whether a dream is a simple emptying of the unconscious mind or a passage into a different state of consciousness. Think back on your dreaming life. Can you remember dreams that felt different from your usual dreams? Perhaps the color was brighter or the sequences more realistic. Maybe you heard voices clearly or felt like you received a message. Maybe you inhabited a body not your own so fully that you could feel the texture of fabric against your skin. Know that there are different spaces within which you dream. Track their contours and their particularities. As you begin to differentiate dream states, you're creating a map of your nighttime journeys that will assist you as you further explore Mugwort's mysteries. Nightmares. Bringing lucidity to your dream time can help lay to rest recurring night fears. Before you go to bed, choose a superpower that will help you during the nightmare. Picture yourself wielding the superpower you've chosen. Tell yourself you can call on this superpower while you're dreaming. Need an example? If you have dreams of falling, give yourself the power of flight. If you have chase dreams, give yourself the power of speed, then turn the chase around and become the chaser. Mullein. Integration. Mullein appears where she's needed and has trouble staying where she's not. Because of her penchant for moving about over the years, she's learned quite a bit, making her a wise guide on any journey. Mullein brings multifaceted understandings into alignment with each other, easily building intellectual bridges between seemingly disparate or disjointed things. Because her gift is seeing the structure of the whole, she'll sing the relationship of bone to water or air to skin in a way that makes you wonder how you never saw those patterns for yourself. Call on Mullein when you need a torch in the darkness or an overview of the whole so you can understand the parts. Ritual. Think macro. Understanding how things influence each other is key to seeing the deeper patterns at work in the world. In your mind, as a sketch or in a journal, find the threads that connect these seemingly disparate things. An acorn and a butterfly, the moon and a ship, your head and your heart. Connect disparate things. Many years ago, I took a workshop with Tom Robbins, author of Jitterbug Perfume. Since it was a long time ago, I'm running fast and loose with Tom's exact phrasing, but essentially he said that the job of a writer is to connect disparate things, like a Twinkie in Jupiter, or the chiming of a grandfather clock and a swallow's mad dash from the barn eaves. Writing can help you make connections and see the macro. Reflection. Spider medicine. Mullein, like a spider sitting on her web, feeling the vibrations along various threads and seeing from the center how it all connects. Imagine all the parts of your life as a giant network with every person, place, and thing connected. Think of yourself as Spider sitting in the center of her web. Imagine the threads stretching out from where you sit. Bring consciousness to your connectivity. Are there parts of your life that need to be integrated into the whole? Now choose an action you're considering or a decision you're making. Fill out along your web. What or who will be affected by your choice? However far back you go, you will find all experiences linked by slender threads. Robert Hellenga, Philosophy Made Simple.